Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and it's a little bit delayed, but we come in with the second Patreon request of the month. This one comes from Mistress Vicious, and today she's asked me to look at an artist I've not heard of before called Meg Myers, or Meg Myers. Never heard of her, no idea who she is, so of course had to look him up. Janice Sue Megan Myers was born October 6th, 1986, professionally known as Meg Myers. She's an American singer-songwriter originally from Tennessee. Myers moved to Los Angeles to pursue a music career where she met Dr. Rosen, who signed her to his production company. In 2012, Myers released her first EP, Daughter in the Choir. Later that year, she signed to Atlantic Records, with which she released the Make a Shadow EP and her debut album, Sorry, in 2015. She later departed Atlantic for 300 Entertainment and released Take Me to the Disco, her second album, in 2018. Her third album, TZIA, was released in 2023 on Sumerian Records. There is a whole bunch of other stuff here, but I can't be bothered going through it. Now it says her music is alternative rock, art pop, pop rock, indie pop. So it's quite a variation. There's a lot of rock and pop going on in there. I have no idea what to expect from this. The song itself is only fairly short. She's asked me. I've been asked to look at a song called Me, and the song it's less than 3 minutes, I think. So this might be quite a short one. I have lyrics here that come from, directly from Google actually, and yeah. I don't know what to expect going into this, so we'll just jump into the song and see what we have. But before we do that, if you could just take a moment to like and subscribe if you haven't already, it would really, really mean a lot to me. I've been doing this for almost 7 years now, and not even 3% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed. So if you could like and subscribe, it would mean a hell of a lot to me. It doesn't cost you anything, takes a fraction of a second, and makes the biggest difference to me and the channel. But anyway, with that being said, let's look at this track. So it's Me by Meg Myers. Let's have a look.
I've been hurt, I've been lied to so much. I've been burned in the fire. I've had enough. I've had all of the blame put on me. I've been wasting my precious energy. Honey, this just ain't in the cards. 'Cause what I'm looking for is transcendence. You are not the one for me. There's someone else. There's someone else, and that's me. Ow! Victimized, I've been tied to bedposts. I've repeated the same scenarios. I've been patient that love will find me. I've been fishing in all the wrong seas. Honey, this just ain't in the cards. 'Cause what I'm looking for is transcendence. You are not the one for me. There's someone else. There's someone else, and that's me. Guess I'll just love myself. There is nobody else can please me, please me, please me like I do. Well, honey, this just ain't in the stars. Because what I'm looking for is like heaven. But you are not the one for me.
Right. Well, that was interesting. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect going into that, and rightly so. That was odd. I mean, let's face it. She got a good voice. She got a very good voice. She used various different vocal styles throughout that track. Sounded very, very good. The video immediately made me think of Tank Girl, the Laurie Petty film. Just made me think of that just by the way that she's dressed and all that, and the silly sort of behaviour throughout the video. Playing on tiny little kiddie instruments and whatever that was at the end where she was pretending to be a chicken or something and walking towards the window on her knees. But anyway, it was very weird, very odd, very unusual. And I've got to say, I don't hate it. I'm not sure if it's something I would go out of my way to listen to regularly, but I don't hate it. It's quite entertaining, video-wise. Musically, it was okay, fairly minimalist, really, musically. But like I said, her voice is actually very, very good. You can tell she has got quite a bit of power behind her voice. Although it did sound like maybe there was some additional effect added onto her voice. Maybe a little sort of reverb and stuff added on. But that's not important. You can tell that there is a power behind the voice, and you can tell that she has a good voice. And the song basically seems to be talking about the fact that she's been hurt and screwed over by so many people in the past that she's fed up with it, basically, and now she just finds herself to be the best company. No one's going to love her like she does, basically. Hence why it's called Me. The lyrics go, I've been hurt, I've been lied to so much, I've been burned in the fire, I've had enough. I've had all of the blame put on me. I've been wasting my precious energy. So, I've been hurt. I've been lied to so much. I've been burned in the fire. I've had enough. I've been gaslighted, basically. Partners have lied to me. They've said everything that happened was my fault. It says that I've had all the blame put on me. Typical sort of narcissistic behaviour from ex-partners sort of thing. It's your fault that this happened. It's your fault that this happened. I was nothing but loving, yada, yada, blah, blah, bullshit. So she's basically saying, I've been hurt. I've been lied to. I've had everything put on me. I'm fed up with this. I'm done. I've been wasting my precious energy. I've been putting all my time and effort into these relationships, and, it wasn't getting me anything. At the end of the day, it was just a waste of time, effort, etc. It goes into the chorus. It says, well, honey, this just ain't in the cards, 'cause what I'm looking for feels transcendent. You are not the one for me. There's someone else, and that's me. So it's that bit. It sounds like she's talking to someone who's like trying it, sort of like, hey, how about it? And she's like, it's not happening, honey. You can keep trying, but it's not happening. Because what I'm looking for something amazing. I'm looking for something that lifts me up, something that ignites a flame in my soul, something that feels, as she says, transcendent. And she's like, you're not going to be able to provide me with that. You're not the one that's going to give me what I'm looking for. You're not going to be able to provide me with what I need. There's someone else that can do that, and that someone else is me. No one's going to love me like I love me. I know what I want. I know what I can give myself. I can please myself better than anybody else can, because I know exactly what I want, how I want it, where I want it, and when. Basically. Victimised. I've been tied to bedposts. Kinky. I've repeated the same scenarios. I've been patient that love will find me. I've been fishing in all the wrong seas. So victimised, again, like I said, the sort of narcissistic behaviour of ex-partners who are pretty much toxic, blaming her for everything. I've been tied to bedposts, whether she means that literally, like, that could either be as a form of confinement, as a form of control, or it could be the kinkier side of things. I've repeated the same scenarios. I've been patient that love will find, I've been sitting there thinking, eventually it will come to me. Eventually I'll find someone. I just need to be patient. It'll take its time. When it happens, it happens. And then she goes, I've been fishing in all the wrong seas. I've been wasting my time. I've been looking for love in all the wrong places. And, I should have been looking inward rather than at the surrounding areas. And then it goes back into that chorus. Well, honey, this ain't just in the cards, because what I'm looking for feels transcendent. You're not the one for me. There's someone else, and that's me. Then it goes into a sort of bridge saying, guess I'll just love myself. There is nobody else who can please me like I do. So like I said, she's basically turned to herself and gone, no one's going to love me like me. I know what I want, how I want it, when I want it, and I can give it to me. I can love me better than anybody else can. Excuse me. So, it's that realisation of, basically, I don't need no man. Basically. Or not necessarily a man, I don't need no woman, maybe. But, there's that realisation that she doesn't need a partner to get what she wants, basically. Then it goes into a variation of the chorus, saying, well, honey, this just ain't in the stars, because what I'm looking for feels like heaven. You are not the one for me. There's someone else. There's someone else. Yes, there's someone else. There's someone else. And that's me. So it's a little bit extended, and a couple of the words have been changed ever so slightly. What I'm looking for feels like heaven. It's a sort of variation on it feels transcendent. It feels amazing. It's going to take me places I've never been before. It makes me feel great. Again, you're not the one for me, because what I'm looking for, you can't give me what I need. Someone else can, and that someone else is me. Basically, it's a very simple song, but it makes a point. Because there's always this trope, and I don't necessarily agree with this trope, saying that no one will love you unless you love yourself first. I don't agree with that, because that basically makes someone who already feels worthless feel even more worthless. And it's not true. The love of someone else can make you eventually love yourself. It goes the other way around. I don't agree with nobody will love you until you love yourself. That's bullshit, and it's a very negative way of thinking. But it's shut up. I'm talking. Anyway, she's basically saying, you can find joy by yourself. You don't need a partner to find fulfillment. You don't need a partner to get what you want and get what you need. I mean, there are some people in the world, such as myself, who absolutely crave partnership. I hate being lonely. And, I mean, I live in a tiny little piddly village in the arse end of nowhere, surrounded by farmers of the average age of about 65 years old. So meeting someone similar to me is very, very unlikely. And I don't go out very much. I don't get to go out very much because, obviously, I take care of my mother, and the closest town is about, I have to drive there, so I can't exactly go out for a drink, and, so, yeah, it's very complicated, so I crave a partnership. There are people like that, but she's basically saying you don't need a partner to get what you want from life, but the thing is, what I want from life is companionship. So I kind of do. But, she's saying that's not what she needs. She can give herself what she needs. She can get whatever she wants, how she wants it, when she wants it, whenever she wants it. And that's the only person who's going to actually be able to provide her with what she wants. Because so far, nobody's measured up. So, it's a very basic song, but it has got a very pointed message saying, you can find it in yourself. You can be happy with yourself. You don't need to rely on somebody else to provide you with what you need. You can do it for yourself, basically. It's a pretty empowering song. But like I said, very simple and quite short. Like I said, it's just under 3 minutes, I think. So, it's not a particularly deep song. It's not a particularly long song, but it has a pointed, fairly powerful message, very well performed. Like I said, very unusual video, very unusual artist. And I wasn't even sure if I had the right person then, because when I looked up Meg Myers to find out information, the photograph I found with the information looks very different to what was in that video. Because, like I said, in the video, it looked like something from Tank Girl, and the video I found showed a sort of almost straight-laced, dark-haired woman wearing a long black dress. It's quite different. So I wasn't even sure if I had the right person to begin with, but Maybe I didn't. Maybe there's another Meg Myers floating around. I don't know. But yeah, I really don't know what else I can say on that. So yeah, I'll leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. It really, really would help me out. You know, I've been doing this for about 7 years now, and not even 3% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed, which is a little disheartening, because, you know, I like to think I do something a little different than most other reactors. You know, most reactors look at a song, look at a video, go, yeah, I like it, no, I didn't, and that's about all you get. I like to talk about the songs, I like to talk about the morals, the themes, the stories within the music, because I think that's something that goes very, very widely ignored. You know, there's this common misconception about heavy metal that it's all about anger, violence, murder, and, you know, gore and stuff like that, and that's just simply not true. You know, I've covered close to 900 songs on this channel in the past 6-7 years, and a lot of them have had important and powerful real-world meanings, you know, whether they're talking about homeless veterans, domestic abuse, depression, mental health, and, you know, all these sorts of things. A lot of them do have quite powerful, strong real-world meanings. Obviously, you know, you do get the outliers which talk about, like, maybe there's a science fiction story, maybe it's a made-up fantasy story, or maybe it is about violence and gore, because, you know, they do exist in heavy metal, there's no denying that. But for the majority, most of the songs I look at have a deeper meaning, and I think that goes widely ignored, you know, because there's, like I said, there's this misconception that heavy metal is all about murder, anger, and violence. You know, I had a friend, or I say friend, an acquaintance at school who was convinced, should I say, that heavy metal was just people shouting profanity down a microphone and talking about murder, and he absolutely staunchly refused to be told otherwise. And this is where this misconception comes from, you know, because we are seen as violent and aggressive looking people, and that's quite simply not true. You know, if you look at violence within musical cultures, things like hip-hop and rap has a much, much higher violence rate than heavy metal does. I'm not saying it's non-existent in heavy metal, but it's very, very small comparatively, you know. And I want to try and dismiss this whole misconception that heavy metal is all about violence and murder, because it's quite simply not. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I talk about what the songs are about. And, you know, I thought people might find that interesting. You know, what do the songs mean to them? You know, I'd like to have this sort of conversation about what a song means to an individual, because I think it was Dave Grohl said, you know, you could sing a song to an auditorium of 80,000 people, and those 80,000 people will sing it back to you for 80,000 different reasons, because the song will affect them, each of them, in a different way. It will mean something to each individual, and it'll be slightly different for every single one of them. And that's the wondrous thing about music, is the fact that it can mean whatever you want it to mean. You know, it can have an influence on your life, and, you know, this is why I have this discussion, because I want to discuss what a song means to you. What do you think it's about? What do you think the story means? You know, that's why I do what I do. And, you know, there's very, very few, if any, other actors that actually do that. And, you know, I thought it might be something interesting that other people might be interested in. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But if you could like and subscribe, you know, it'd really, really help me out. It doesn't cost you anything, takes a fraction of a second, and it does make the biggest difference to me and the channel. But yeah, with that being said, that's about all I've got for you today. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.